He's my husband. Very proud of him. He would be my gynecologist if I was allowed to have my family.
I don't know, I feel like that would be a bit of a conflict of interest, but just my feelings. Hi guys, this is Yummy Mommy and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is really special because I'm joined by someone who's very important to me. Hi Dad.
Hi, John.
How are you?
I'm good.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Dr. William Obwaka. I'm a consultant gynecologist obstetrician. I'm in private practice and I'm Joan's dad.
Exactly. And for those who don't know, an obstetrician / gynecologist is just Daktari wa mama.
Dr.
Right?
Wakina Mama.
Daktari wakina mama, exactly.
In fact, many people usually wonder who is an obstetrician, who is a gynecologist. Usually it's the same person, but obstetrics by itself, obstetrics means anything to do with pregnancy and childbirth. Okay.
And gynecology?
And gynecologist is any other issue of the reproductive system which doesn't have to do with the pregnancy and childbirth, including infertility, cancers, fibroids, infections and things like that. 80% of our clients are female and 20% actually are men. Yes,
some good information. You learn something new every day. I didn't even know that. So before we start, the reason why my dad is here is because I asked him to come on here to answer some questions that I asked you guys to send me about reproductive health in general. And this video, before I even get started, is made in partnership with the Junction Mall and Gertrude's Hospital, who thank you so much for partnering with me on this. Junction Mall and Gertrude's Hospital are partnering to bring you guys an amazing event. It's gonna be on the 27th of October at the Junction Mall. It's 100% free and the event is called Mommy&I, and basically it's just all about trying to demystify things to do with like pregnancy and reproductive health in general and taking care of really small children, and it's going to be a really nice event. I'll be there, I'll be speaking, and I hope you guys are going to join me. Dad, will you come?
I'll be there.
This is the first time I'm telling you about it, but please come.
Okay, I'll be there.
There'll be a bunch of other specialists there. There'll be gynecologists, there'll be pediatricians, there'll be lactation specialists, there'll be nutritionists, and just a whole bunch of people who can come together to help us, demystify some of these things, these myths and misconceptions around the things that we as women go through all the time in our daily lives. Whether you're a mom or whether even if you're not a mom, there are things which you'll probably have experienced. So the reason I asked my dad to come here is because a lot of you have been sharing with me, especially on my Instagram, some of the challenges you guys face with regards to reproductive health, and I thought it would be nice to have an expert come and answer some of these questions even as we gear up for this event on the 27th. So we are going to just talk about contraceptives today. And first of all, thank you so much to you guys for sending me all these questions. We'll try and get through as many of them as possible. I hope you're ready.
I am.
You have your water?
I have my water.
Yes.
And if things get worse, I'll get porridge.
Exactly. Mom, have you heard? If he needs porridge, you need to get him porridge. Okay, so we have like quite a few questions to get through and we'll try and get through as many as possible. If there's anything that we don't answer that perhaps you had sent me, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below or just DM me on Instagram and I will get back to you at some point. Okay, Dad, so the first question, and this one came from a lot of people ask this question: which is the best contraceptive and how do I choose out of all the contraceptive options, which one is the best?
Okay, there is no best contraceptive. Contraceptives are given to people depending on many factors. First of all, their own physical health.
Yeah.
Checking for maybe the temperature, the weight, and also their intentions. Like what do we call their obstetric career? Okay.
What?
So that then
What is that?
That means that depending on also how many children they want to have or already have. Okay, like for example, for a lady who does not have does not want to have any more children. Let's say she has 4 children, she doesn't want any more. The best for her would be a tubal ligation, you see. But if it is, it will be a permanent solution. Yeah. Either tubal ligation for her or what we call a vasectomy for the husband. But then if it is a lady maybe who's just newly married but does not want to have children, at that time she'll need to be given something which is temporary. But then also, of course, it will depend on whether she has got any other diseases, her history, whether she's a history of their family has a history of diabetes or hypertension and so on. So there's no best for everyone.
Yeah.
They're best for individuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would advise them they have to go to a gynecologist so they can get the options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The options that they can use are narrowed down. That these are the ones that are best for you. So choose among these ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, you need to see a gynecologist. And by the way, I will leave my dad's contacts down below and his location and prices and everything, so you can be able to consult him after this if necessary. Second question, and this one is really interesting. Why aren't male contraceptives a thing? People talk about condoms and things like that, but there are other things such as like pill patches, apparently, which I've never even heard of. Why aren't they more common?
Okay, the thing is, even if we found pills for men today, women will continue to use their contraceptives.
Yeah.
It's because men would definitely don't have motivation to use contraceptives because they don't get pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the lady is much more conscious of using something to prevent pregnancy than the man is.
Yeah.
So that then the man will most likely will forget his pill. Yeah. And therefore it's not the in thing. And the other thing is that in women have a cycle.
Yeah.
And therefore a cycle of hormones which go up and down, and therefore you are able to control, come up with something to what is it called, to modulate so that then you can control it. But men do not have a cycle, so that which you can come up now with some maybe contraceptive to be able to interfere with that cycle that women do. And that's why you don't have very few contraceptives for men.
But actually there are others besides condoms, and are they even available in Kenya?
They are not available in Kenya. So for the time being, for men it remains just vasectomy for those who want to have a permanent method, and condoms for what is called temporary method.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of very useful information. Okay, third question. Does the coil lead to urinary tract infection?
Okay, directly it does not. Okay, it does not. It's only that what happens is that because the coils is inserted in the uterus, but then there's a string which is left hanging.
Yeah.
If one develops an infection, that is likely to be worse than somebody who has no coil.
Yeah.
But then it does not bring the infection.
But I've always wondered about that one because I personally have the coil, and I feel like since I got it in, I feel like I get more UTIs than before.
Not quite, because sometimes one might get, because of the use of the coil, it's a foreign thing, and therefore people tend to sometimes to react to the copper in the coil, if it's a copper coil, or the hormone in the coil, and therefore sometimes one might have an increase in discharge. And some people, and also there's a difference between UTI and other infections, because some people, what they call UTI is not actually UTI. UTI is urinary tract infection. So it is it's a different system from the reproductive system. So sometimes people call UTI what is not UTI.
What is not a UTI? That's very true. Okay, next question. And this one also came from a lot of women. They were asking, why is the P2, the emergency contraceptive, said to be bad? Does it affect you in the long run, and how much of it should you take?
Okay, the P2, since it started being called P2, it has actually been misused. It's actually supposed to be given its full name so that people know why it is taken. It is actually the emergency contraceptive pill.
But no one calls it that.
Nobody calls it.
This is the problem.
So they just call it P2. And people tend to get it off the counter. It's not supposed to be used as a regular contraceptive. It's supposed to be used as an emergency pill. In fact, most of the time it is used in cases of maybe rape, incest, those kind of situations where it is actually an emergency. It's an emergency, but not on a regular basis because it is it interferes. It is hormonal, therefore it interferes with your cycle for one, and two, it also has a failure rate of about let's say 20%.
That's a lot.
And that's a lot. And the other thing is, usually it works by interfering with the movement of the egg from the ovary into the tube, and therefore sometimes pregnancy might still occur, but because it has interfered with the movement of the egg, the pregnancy might lodge into the tube, and therefore the chances of getting an ectopic pregnancy is very high. And therefore we don't advise it on a regular basis. In fact, one should not plan to use pill
Exactly.
One should just use a method of contraception. That one should be left for emergencies only.
Exactly. So please note that for the people who asked that question. Okay, next question. Is it okay to take 3 packets of microgynon pills back to back to stop periods?
Why? Okay, normally if a lady does not take pills, she has her cycle like about once a month. She has her menses once a month.
Exactly.
Okay, and why the microgynon is given, you're given, usually one gets 21 pills of the hormone, and then they rest 7 days, or during those 7 days of resting, they take iron pills so that they take 28.
Yeah.
But if you take the microgynon back to back, then there is no that break, then your hormones do not come down, and therefore you do not have your periods. It is safe because usually you can't do that. You can do that if you want to postpone your menses, maybe because of you're traveling or you're having a wedding or something like that. There is no harm in taking them back to back if you want to postpone your periods. And because the pills they last in your body only 24 hours, that's why you have to take them every day. So it does not accumulate. There's no that now you have so much microgynon in your system. Within 24 hours, it is finished.
But so that
body.
means if I was to take them like the whole year, I'll just continue and just not get my period.
Yeah, you will not get your period. You'll just get your periods when you stop.
When you now stop. Okay, that's interesting. All right, next question. Now it's still about pills, but this is now about the daily contrast. Oh wait, microgynon is also a daily contraceptive.
It's a daily contraceptive.
Do they have any extended negative effects?
Not any extended negative effects. They for some people who are prone because they are hormonal, prone to illnesses such as diabetes, hypertension, and so on. Usually, it's good to monitor them more closely. And in fact, in most cases, because they are hormonal, they can interfere with other hormones, like insulin and so on. And therefore, for people who have got that history, are supposed to be seen more commonly before they are given any more. In fact, usually we advise people to, if they are taking the pill, every 3 months, especially if they have a history of such like diseases, to go for checkup every 3 months before they take the next packet of 3. Okay.
The next question is about the injection. So someone is asking, how long will it take me to be able to conceive after stopping the 3-month depot injection? It's been a year already and not being able to conceive.
Yeah, that is a complaint that we've seen.
You get often.
Yes, because the females generally have 2 major hormones, the progesterone and the estrogens. And the depot injection, the 3 months injection, is called Depo-Provera, is progesterone only. And therefore, for the most part, most of the women who are given that injection, so it means that you are pumping them more with one type of hormone than the other, so there is no balance. So most of them will be without without their periods will be interfered with because now there's hormonal imbalance.
Yeah.
But usually when you stop it, for the balance to come back, usually might take 3 to 6 months. So, but usually if it has gone over 6 months,
yeah.
it means that there's really a lot of delay, and therefore if you visit your gynecologist, then they are able to bring back the balance.
Okay, using another method.
Yeah, using another method. I mean, if you're stopped now, you want to conceive, and it's like over 3 months, over 6 months,
yeah.
and you're not succeeding, then you need to see a gynecologist who will now bring back the balance faster by introducing now estrogen.
Estrogen,
yeah.
through what, injection?
Most likely tablets.
Okay, that sounds quite okay. Okay, this is a question we got from many women as well. Which contraceptive is best for breastfeeding moms?
For breastfeeding moms, anything will do except the usual pills, because the usual pills has got progesterone and estrogen, and it is the estrogen part that usually reduces the milk, suppresses milk production.
Seriously?
So usually any other one,
I know that.
any other contraceptive will do. I mean, you can use pills which are progesterone only.
Okay.
You can use injection. You can use the coil. You can use. I mean, any other thing will do.
It's
the only
fine.
thing that is not fine
Yeah.
is a normal pill.
Pills. Okay.
But you can use the mini pill,
Yeah.
which has got progesterone only.
Okay. And in that same line, another question which was like one of the most asked questions is about contraceptives and weight loss or weight gain. So people say that if you use these hormonal ones, you tend to gain weight. So someone is asking, which is the best contraceptive for women who want to lose weight? Or which contraceptive does not make you gain weight?
Okay. Mostly the contraceptives that don't make you gain weight are the non-hormonal contraceptives. Okay? Okay, that would be anything like the diaphragm, the coil, the condom, permanent methods, surgical, and so on. All those will not make you gain weight.
Yeah.
But like I say, if one uses contraceptives, especially the hormonal contraceptives, then they need to, of course, have a little bit of exercise.
Yeah.
They need to eat healthy. Low carbs.
Low carb, high five.
And then, and also of course, watch their diet and do some exercise.
Yeah.
Because 75% of ladies will not have any appreciable weight gain.
Even with the hormonal.
Even with the hormonal.
Okay.
About 75%.
So the contraceptive is not the reason.
10%. I would say about 20% tend to gain a little bit of weight, and then you have like about 5% who will actually lose weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on the person.
So you just have to hope you're in the 10%, which is very unlikely. Okay. Next question: do herbal contraceptives work?
Herbal contraceptives don't work. Just like herbal medicine is questionable. Most of this, what the modern contraceptive has done, just like modern medicine has done, is that it has gone maybe even into the herbal medicine and removed from the herbs exactly the ingredient that actually works.
Works, yeah.
Because herbs might work, yes, they might have that contraceptive effect, but it has got no known dosage, okay? And therefore you don't know how many sacks of this herb you need to take, how many debes of this one you need.
Yes.
There's no dosaging. And therefore, if you are using any herbal medicine for that, you'll be in for a surprise very soon.
A very happy surprise, maybe. We don't know.
We don't know quite.
Okay. Next question. What is your take on the menstrual cup? Would you advise someone to use it?
I know of I know of a cervical cup. Okay, it could be similar.
But
this is a contraceptive, but this one is inserted so that then it goes and covers the cervix. That is called the cervical cup. Okay, and Similar to that is what we call a diaphragm, which also is like you wear also, so that it's like a barrier, it's a physical barrier.
That sounds very uncomfortable.
Okay, it's like it's rubber, so it can be bent and so on. Most people, many places now they've stopped like using them, because now it's something that you have to insert and remove, and therefore chances of infections go up, and therefore it is not. People don't advise them. It's not advisable.
Okay. All right. A question now about the IUD. Is Mirena as an IUD superior to the copper IUD, and which one would you advise someone to get?
It's not superior as such. It's only more expensive.
Mirena?
Yes, much more expensive.
Really?
Yeah, 5 times more expensive.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah. Because whereas we'll get the other one for maybe 3,000, you'll get this Mirena for 15,000.
Is that because what's the reason?
Okay, one is because it's quite recent. That is one.
Yeah.
But 2, most of the time, the normal IUDs are made up of plastic and copper.
And copper, yes.
And therefore it gives the uterus an environment which is not conducive to pregnancy or carrying.
Yeah.
Okay? But mostly Mirena, is we tend to give it to people who are allergic to metals.
To metal, okay.
Yeah, because now if you put like a copper IUD and you're allergic to metals, then you'll start getting a body rash, because your body will be reacting to that. And therefore, that's why we put most people, because that one is affordable, and Mirena is quite expensive, then you tend to put this other one. But of course, you can still go ahead and put Mirena right away.
Is Mirena also a non-hormonal one?
It's also, it is hormonal.
Yeah.
It is where, instead of where the copper is on the coil, there's hormone. There's progesterone hormone. Okay. But this one is unlikely to affect you. I mean, give you weight or something, because it only acts locally within the uterus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
So, but if you are, of course, if you are a high ender like yourself, you can go directly to Mirena, because you can.
I don't know what he's talking about. Because I can afford it.
Yes.
No, I don't know what he's talking about. Okay, this one is this question was asked to me by someone who is 17 years old, and she's asking, it's like a 3-part question. So she's asking, how early should one start using contraceptives? What are the effects of starting contraception at an early age, and what is the best to start with for a sexually active individual?
Okay, one, as soon as one is sexually active and they do not want to conceive, they need to start using. They definitely should use contraceptives.
Yes.
But as for which type to use, like I said, it depends on the person. Like if one wants to conceive after 1 year, okay, you not want now to put like a coil for 5 years or do whatever. So it depends on the person,
the intention.
If they want maybe to, for example, maybe for the next 5 years I don't want to have children, then you can say put maybe an implant for 5 years, or put a coil. But if it's 3 years, then it will also be depend on that. It depends on the person.
Okay.
Which method, then you prescribe specifically for that person.
For that person.
What was the third part of the question?
It was which is the best to start with, which you've already answered.
Yes.
Exactly. But the key takeout from there, especially for my younger followers, is as soon as you become sexually active, it's very important that you use contraception, and you need to protect yourself. So please see a gynecologist if you are sexually active. The next one, this person is asking about the pill. She says, I recently stopped taking the Yasmin pill so I can conceive, but I've noticed that my periods, which would take 2 days while on the pill, are now taking 5 days. Is this normal?
This is quite normal, because now the periods before were regulated, because you are using the pill. So now sometimes when you stop the pill, now you might have a bit of like the body is a bit confused, because it was used to the pill, and therefore sometimes you might even miss a whole month even actually without periods, because now your body is like recovering from this. It was used to this, so this is not abnormal. Usually we say that if one has the normal periods usually last between 2 and 5 days. So if they are under 2 days,
Yeah,
that's
it's
abnormal.
2, yeah.
If it's over 5 days, it's
Yeah.
abnormal. But if it's just moved from 2 to 5, well, I will not worry about it.
Okay. We are almost at the end. We are almost at the end, Dad. Are you tired of talking? You've not even sipped your water once.
Oh, okay, let me sip once.
Your wife gave you water, you're not even drinking. Tisk. Okay, this question is from a married lady. She says about contraception. She had her baby earlier this year. Then she said, I had an IUD. She had a baby in March.
Yes.
Then she said, I had an IUD inserted in August, and right now my libido is 0. Is this a result of the coil, and why is it happening? Or could she have another problem?
Okay, definitely not the coil, because usually the coil is non-hormonal, therefore it will not interfere. Libido is caused by hormonal can be interfered with by other hormones.
Yeah.
Okay, but in this case, this is non-hormonal. So possibly she should look elsewhere for the reason for that. Maybe some spousal disagreement on financial matters or land.
Could have impact in many areas.
In many areas.
Yes, it's true. Okay.
So definitely not the coil.
Okay, that's comforting. I hope that's comforting for you. Okay, our last question, that is someone who's asking about women who usually have bad cramps. So this lady says that she went to her gynecologist, and the gynecologist said that she should put in the hormonal coil and that it will help her deal with the cramps. Is that true, or is that a myth?
Not completely true, I would say. What we usually do is most people, what has been discovered is that most people who have very bad cramps, as soon as they have maybe their first child, the cramps tend to disappear.
Yeah.
And therefore, studies show that actually why the cramps tend to disappear is because now the cervix is left a little bit more open than before. And therefore, what we do now, of course, we don't prescribe babies for treatment.
Yes.
What we've done is if a lady has got very bad cramps, first of all, we should try hormonal treatment like the pills and so on. But if even that does not work, we usually do a small procedure which is called cervical dilatation, where you dilate the cervix
Permanently.
You dilate it so that it is slightly more open than before, which would have actually been, if they had a baby, so then you dilate it, you got some what are called cervical dilators, and if you do that, then usually the cramps also disappear. So that's a surgical treatment.
Okay.
Yeah, without having.
But on that note, because a question which I've gotten from many people is that the coil is better as a contraceptive for women who have given birth.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah?
Indeed, it is better because now the coil has to be put into the uterus. And therefore, for women who have already given birth, the cervix is left slightly more open and slightly more open and softer.
Yeah.
And therefore, it is easier to insert. But in a lady who has not given birth or at least has never been pregnant, then the cervix is still tightly closed, and therefore you have to like dilate it and before you can put the coil, and that is usually very, very painful. And maybe if it really has to be done, sometimes one has to have it done under sedation.
That's all the questions we have time for today, but I think we've answered most of them. Thanks, Dad, for answering all the questions.
You're welcome.
Are you willing to come back again? Have I treated you nicely here, please?
You've treated me nicely.
Thank you.
But next time, if I can have juice rather than water, I'll turn up.
Okay, fine. Thank you. You guys asked lots of questions, especially to do with things like PCOS, to do with sexual health and wellness, to do with vaginal hygiene and all that. And so we've grouped them. And so my dad will be back on another episode in this series to be able to answer some of those questions. But for now, that is all we have time for. Like I mentioned, this video is in partnership with the Junction Mall and Gertrude Hospital. Please come and join us on the 27th of October, where we'll be talking all about having tiny babies and just giving birth and pregnancy and conceiving and all those things that we as women go through that we need to talk about and meet and share about. So it will be free and it will be at the Junction, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. So please like, comment and subscribe. Dad, have you subscribed to my channel?
Yes, I have.
You click subscribe. Do you like my videos? Do you put thumbs up on my videos?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good job.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so until next time, it's been Yummy Mommy and Yummy Mommy's dad. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.